syphilis, gonorrhea, pressure, ulcer, mamuo stroke, waist pains, fatigue, malaria, liver, and then kidney problems. The pachomudia ni imbuseba mixture. Mono numbi. The police in your drone the yeah. Me no me want to the knee show me. Konama kono mama jime. O pedodo etua. Me pacho ko pharmacy bia. And afi herbal shop bia. Mamo oti region wabo gatamale Accra o kanshi and momo o kanshi drug lane na mo sabe kan bi. O oboku so aye Calamed pharmacy and no low cost kwan no so ha. Me ni bi so wetwe bi embu maten. 0246208496. 0246208496. And no NAA police in here drove. Suku dia ye. Suku dia okobia ye. Etia fan kola ni nko school. I don't make school dia me patron books no. Best brain publication for some men can show us primary for the anaba. Say mathematics, say science, say English, say our world, our people, computing na face to basic. Computing for 4 and 6 na face to creative arting na aba. So now should share a religious and moral education there so 1 to 6 in aba. Equipping for 1 to 6 and also aba. Oko kg so more books in numeracy there so aba 1 to 3 kg. Bring back literacy for the NFS and also our world, our people there our honor. Nursery for so the abo. And also literacy for a nursery 1 and 2 nina aba. Early writing and for nursery and also our honor. History by your love. We should share JHS 4 years and also about JHS mathematics. Area 7, 8, and 9 combined. It didn't now boom and also our hall. And I face so a JHS products in make integrated science, mathematics, English language, social studies. Scratch for so dear about scribbling activities for crack, coloring activities for crack. Nina, are you ready? I need to know call a best brain publication. And as I said from 0507 200 200 057 200 200 and I face 054 200 300 and as I said 0241 520 946 on Sabeka best brain publication. Jump herbal lotion, some can show say it's your body pain party. A pain party. On bet me to a man who used to yum herbal lotion. I be more arthritis, migraine, more fractured bone, and I feel so more pain. I will a year musisi just a stroke, and I feel so the enquire your body mubia or muscle no ya we ya. Patrol used to yum herbal lotion. Yum herbal lotion, beboa. I bet me a queer ma what the fast so keke many amia make a show. Fast so baby ya we ya no the stress swa. Bibia ebe fine. 0244 730 295 and I'm 0302945146 I know a yum herbal lotion. 7:45 is the time. Music on the background coming from the man of Bradford, featuring the man Sarkodie. Almost way Mowisha. Yes, just enough yendi and come on. Better was say o television no ato a Kessben TV. I feel so wow o a radio so no o a friend is saying Kessben 92.9 and o se sia a utie me e wo a radio no so over social media so and also e wo a Kessben TV on sa ebe kan ye e wo honom Kessben TV Facebook and also say Kessben 92.9 and also our Facebook. Meeting at the Kojo Preko Dankwah. Anope ye bedi nkomo pa na watwe mu nsam nyina ye ba bedi hu enkomo ene anope e wo fie hanom empanfo betena se ora Charles Maakye managing editor Emma the Hawk newspaper e betena se saso and a citizen Ato Dazi general secretary Emma GCPP and also e betena se then the man himself one meeting very interesting Mahmoud Kabori spokesperson to lands minister on also betena se na fe ya twetwe enkomo na ya hwe de eko ene de ebe nyina here ye ne eye guta panyini ra Charles Kusi Apia Kubi ye ne bedi nkomo ye head business and economic bureau e de entina me boni din mejiri ye say what say ye say 15% VAT on all non-life insurance premiums. GR4 ede aba. Esunsanso no ete sen. Mene wo a yetie. Is it another increment in taxes? Anase dean ya. Non-life insurance no kra no ye ka. Mene wo ye nchera ntiasie sa ameboa. Ye benya ntiasie no na fe ya tiasie ye. Se empo kra no ehun sunsanso no ete sen ewo yenso ewo omemu hadom. But I mean, kwa humano so answer na meba ora Charles kusi apia kubi so no. Men kwa humano so na me ni bema Prince apia or your insurance broker. And I say so or your marketing manager. Okay, or your insurance broker, right? Okay, or your insurance broker. You know ending come ora Prince apia. Na onche ye mu first off, what is truly the issue here? Ora Prince, Maakye bibi aboko de.
Ya jo penny.
Mejidi yes or die.
Nyame adu da ye pa.
Ye de radio say. Alright Prince, we insurance broker na ye can insurance one sem dia na Ghana for and na say ye nyina ye interested pa. Na yati bibi say GR say almost the 15% VAT to bibi a friend no non-life insurance premiums. Na ayin bia we insurance broker say ye ka say non-life insurance premiums are me am too kan si me shara ntiasie yi sa dia
You me do aso penny kese na meche wati so because non-life insurance premium insurance na gata no you munti chimu mi your life and non-life na life na ye efa enipa ho yare bia o yare ana iwu eni sa ni man ene friends permanent and total permanent disability. Tieka life no so non-life no so akoye property insurance. Yenye cars insurance assets or risk, contractors or risk. There's a difference that life and non-life in man. That's it.
Okay, enti non-life no okay say property insurance say bia me property benz na oka ho asemi.
Tibia ofie
Ufie
which my fire insurance ya to so. Yeah, if you know it to ma na BBC the flood kra na. Insurance which me afimu na ya fimu na pia wo kan be amount. And now yes our shops go on more or stock shop insurance. The stocks in the woman no it me insurance to so.
O kan shop si say dey bia me wo shop o kan shi me wo shop o makola me wo shop wo KJT sa shops no na wo kan no.
And I'm making and so it me insurance to so.
Okay.
The shop no your dia kra na. Stock no woman no it me insurance to stock na your dia no so.
It and on non-life insurance premiums.
Non-life insurance, yes.
Okay. 80 say a band say you say you the 15% beto swa. Na say chire saying.
The assessing and say o net premium no will be piano. The one you better apply 15% as a VAT. Yes. And you net premium now also will share for your non-life insurance no. That net no any other applies at 15% in also. That is it.
So does it mean say ebe kosoro?
Ebe kosoro pa. You say me problem cry woman.
Eh what say pa?
Ebe kosoro. You say class premium you pia kra ni issue. You pia kra ni issue. Clients the premium o kwa na be kasa be bi na say 15% as at so there. Ebe hard in kakra this education kosoro pa.
So o ka se be ha adwene a me ordinary Ghanaian na ebia me call Katia akakoto ade stock ya o ka se waye ne ho insurance ye won the shop yi menya effect was so an so bi was so mame
o re de so bi ani so ema o ko e wa akota ade ni de so bi ani so ma na shop owner no na na fire insurance no ya na say accessories insurance no say ema no or the premium na no tia no previous years no and be cost kakra by 15%.
Na onyi ni say omo bedwane e de sa sika na ba beto ye de no so because so omo de no cost ro dia na the expectation is that o tia no dodo enti no obetumi ayi e de abehye sebi ade a me to won the shop nim.
Of course, you can see the sister. The sister, and my customers in your better you some years yet.
You
will say one the premium cost. It is also be making sure says one of the adjustment view on some Hannah. Generally, no bokona with a price no one adjustment kakra. That be.
Answer me jam mama wa kono quick one. Uka say yenoma ye wo shops any adan efie sebio ye titimu and all that. Truly speaking, ye insurance way. A man for ye.
But the case me do say. Property insurance ni dey. Yenye kra yenye okay insurance portfolio na. No kra na ofom kra yenye se ni panye lo bi no ko bank. Na bank because one for the property me collateral. Na bank na asene kitin ya ma ya insurance nga to so. No an kasa so no an shop na ni fi obe insurance ato so dey. Edme. Ye ne be customers clients you know ma kasa omonye.
Reference what any problem no dey ntina ye ni ope no say e be yes ade no.
Mr. Ghana hana insurance na kasa education wo form. Education na wo form. Ti minim say NIC ye be to NIC enim na aja. O mama education akoso kakra de amaya. Ko fire insurance ndi wo form pa so hu hia. Oko other countries na won't mean if abrawo ni fire insurance. Oko di wa ni other countries now. If you be saving insurance and that's that. So how is it? Then we can kasa the quotation squab on team will be still or form omonye.
Nti ye dan share na she.
Na she.
Your shop.
So no class na can premium more for so as compared to motor insurance.
Oh, okay. Me ba enti to said the Kantamonto shi ye. Anka ye yes anema we bi anka beboa won.
Beboa pa. Beboa pa. Beboa okay o magazine ai bia dance. E shop kakraka e she. E she no onya problem that is na ono so na insurance da so. Na so ko tan be na insurance for tu and claim the man. Te danga kakraka we kan ka ko problem. If you be stress na mo so my education no akofom yi. Fire insurance no premium no ewo from kra as compared to motor no so yem pene ye yem pene ye kra
ora prince ya da say so ne edi nkomo
me do aso pene ke
Prince appear na ye no edi nkomo insurance broker na ye no edi nkomo efa ye the 15% VAT aye de to non-life insurance premium no and what cheche mu no ntima me no papa what ase ye enye insurance bia na on sheda nti ase na emum no say na ene ya nete ye na yen sheda emfanye adwuma saa be no ene no edi nkomo no 7:55 is the time meeting at the Kojo Preko Dankwah Kessben Maakye sunie Mira atena say ora Charles Mr. Charles Kusi appear kubi watena so head business and economic bureau ema eye guta ye no ending komo na yembisa no dem aba ku mienu miensa bi ye nhwe effect anaso se sisi ade ye dem bibia ani ho a ebe ye da ye nda anase den a ora Charles morning bibia abokode
nyame adum me ma ho so achi
oba na nso ni ton
pete kakra
pete on okay nti mo mu fifie ba no mo fa umbrella mu tie nka dia mo fa umbrella na nsuo no eye atotototo a ora Charles what is me ora Prince edi nkomo efa eye premium no wa chechere say what non-life insurance no etie then bebia mo ba mu pa ene shops no ene how omo charge premium no and all that. First off, what is ana muku no say 15% yeah they are to a non-life insurance premium so no what then na more can fa ho what is your take on that first of Guta?
All right, thank you. In fact, I'm trying to find a word. We're disappointed.
Oh wow.
Yes. You know, over the periods, the can is a VAT as a tax policy. It's not helping businesses. And what we've been pushing for is reforms within the VAT structure. Because VAT is a consumption tax, and it adds on to cost of prices of items. And compliance is very low in the market. So over the period, most businesses have been using part of their working capital to pay for VAT, which have been depleting their working capital. And it also affects expansion. What we've been waiting for is a reform within the VAT system, not an expansion of VAT into another sector that is already struggling. We share insurance companies and in a number of Ghanaians that have bought into the culture of taking insurance policies are very low. So we're thinking that probably if there's any means government want to raise funds, insurance companies should not be targeted. Reason is this. When we say early part of this year, a lot of our markets were gutted with fire. NIA tried to encourage our people that please go and insure your properties, insure your stocks, so that if such events happen, you are covered. So to wake up that even though they've not bought into our lobbying of taking insurance, now as I introduce you another VAT to it, you are discouraging businesses to take up that policy which will protect their businesses in case of any unexpected events. 2, businesses have been complaining that there's so much tax in our system that are restricting growth within the market. Any tax out to may bring a revenue as government. Maybe you might achieve your revenue target, but the economic ramification to businesses say, some businesses may collapse because your tax system do not correlate to the dynamics within the market. We are pretending we are paying taxes, but actually we are collapsing businesses. It's a bit true, baby, no. Business, which has become the bloodline of every economy, no. When it's dried up, there's no business again, there's no economy again. Advocacy is that let's look at how do we make taxes much more easy for anyone to comply with. Ghana, a challenge with tax system is about compliance. And when you're talking about compliance, you are talking about simplicity, we are talking about flexibility, we are talking about affordability. When we breach all these 3, you can raise all the taxes that you want. But that will not give you the kind of growth you are looking for our economy, because you will get the revenue at the expense of business survival. We've been talking about this for the period, that any time government decide to reduce taxes, there's a certain savings that you give to businesses, which forms part of their working capital. When businesses have cheap working capital, they can expand. When they are expanding, they need to employ more youths. The teeming youth that are unemployed, we will employ them. So we solve the problem of unemployment. We take that burden from you as government. When businesses are growing and they are recording profits, you will enjoy a very sustainable corporate income tax. That is sustainable. So if we're looking for revenue, we should not always look for the cheapest and the most convenient way as government to do it, but you look at a much more sustainable way that will resonate with the business community.
And which ones are the sustainable ones you're talking about?
So we are talking about that give tax havens to businesses. If you do comparative analysis between Ghana and some of the sub-Saharan African countries' taxes, our taxes are so high. If you compare our taxes with Cote d'Ivoire, it's very high. You'll be paying corporate tax within 30-35%.
Cote d'Ivoire?
Cote d'Ivoire is about 20%.
It didn't know near 20%.
So that's what we should find out. So they probably have bought in the concept that it's not about high taxes that gives you revenue, but it's about how you expand the tax net. Then the public bridge, and now it's sustainable. in our country, we talk about, and we have to expand the tax net. Few people are paying taxes because tax is not affordable to the ordinary Ghanaian. It's not flexible. A lot of complexity in it. It's what we are supposed to address is about the affordability, about the complexity, and about flexibility. If we're able to do this, compliance is achieved. You don't need to increase taxes again. And everybody will feel reliable that I need to pay my taxes. But that we have lost that opportunity. So coming back to why we're disappointed for them to introduce VAT on non-life insurance policy is that, you know what? The same people who have been paying VAT that we are complaining about. We are the same people who are going to pay the VAT on non-life insurance. The reason is this. Every business survives on some kind of debt financing from the bank. Bank being here collateral.
Yeah.
Collateral na bank you have to insure it. It's miobia or on a free bank. The insurance for that cover is about 30,000 Ghana cedis. That's the premium. Now, if you have to add 15% of what to this 30,000, he's going to pay about 34,500 Ghana cedis. That is an extra cost to the business. Remember this. We've been complaining about high cost of doing business in Ghana. One of them is our interest rate. Our interest rate hovers between 30 to 35%, depending on your risk level from the bank. Now, adding 15%, if I have to take a loan and I have to insure my property, you are adding to the cost to 15%. That means that the problem of reducing the cost of doing business has not been solved, but rather is being aggravated. You are increasing the cost of doing business in Ghana. When the cost of doing business is high in Ghana, that what it means is that cost of items also will go high. That will mean that we will not be competitive as a country.
Adena sebi mawe to ade na ebe kosro se utua o premium na wasande ba be sheme.
Yes.
Se ebi aduane ana sebi product am abeto wo stock no o de kosro.
VAT is a consumption tax. So whoever consume the VAT, whoever consume the item or the service is supposed to pay for that. The point is this. Every businessman has this very objective, to make profit. And in doing that, we are also mindful of keeping certain level of cost. But when the cost goes beyond a certain limit, we have no option. Say, we will pass on that cost to the consumer. It's a make side way. Na 10 cedis. And then me call a 15 cedis. It is first time they get 12 cedis. It's a mean fan get 12 cedis beam. But they budget 17 cedis.
It's an say we know bat in the cost.
Exactly. So that will mean that one, cost of prices of items will go high. You remember some few days and months ago, government were calling on businesses to reduce prices of items.
July somewhere. Most July.
No, we've done a lot. Price of items have come down. Okay. So now introducing 15% of VAT on non-life insurance policies will mean that whatever we want to achieve by reducing prices, we will lose it. Price of items will go up again. Because cost of doing business has gone high. Cost of borrowing will go high. Because that part, which most of the time directly linked to lending, you cannot run away from it. You see, as if that probably could be enough. People with commercial properties, when they are renting, right, they have to pay withholding tax of about 15% on properties.
Come more shops, so no more they rent.
And these shops are almost every year have to be insured. So adding 15% on the premium will mean that rent must also go high. Because that business person who has invested in properties will not keep that 15% as its cost. It must be spread for his tenant to pay for it. What are we doing this as a country? Why? You know, it breaks my heart that what policymakers are always looking at what makes them comfortable, without recourse to the effect on that ordinary Ghanaian and that business person who we always call is the engine of growth of this country. Now, government wants to introduce 24-hour economy.
And also the 24-hour economy.
And if you make the environment such uncompetitive, unsustainable for businesses, how are you going to achieve that? If cost of doing business is high in this country, why will I want to be part of such policy? You're supposed to make things much more flexible. When businesses are growing, when businesses are expanding, when the environment is right, a lot of people will invest their money in the economy. One of the things that I want to end with, yes, everybody will say that government needs money, needs revenue, VAT and EDG revenue. That no one is contesting it. Okay? But the point is this. Or VAT, or taxes, or revenue are original. You should be very careful that you don't collapse businesses. That is where I want to end with.
And you think the 15% are not a big good businesses?
Because one, cost of doing business will go high by 15% with the introduction of 15% VAT on non-life insurance.
Okay, say sector no is already struggling.
Yes.
Sector being okay.
I'm talking about the insurance sector.
A struggle.
Of course, because Ghanaians have not bought the culture of insurance.
Okay. And that was where Okan so say even Krano more ne Moncrofo Kasamo lobby for them to then to me enquire this non-life insurance policies and all that.
That's right.
So obisa on yes idea na sanctions be ho.
There's no sanctions.
Bibia any hosa.
I mean, probably there are laws, but no one is enforcing it. But the point is this:
it is enforcing
it's at my will. Okay, when you look at risk assessment, you want to either absorb the risk or you want to pass on the risk to an insurance company. But if I think I can absorb my risk and I don't want to insure my property, that's not your business, is it? Okay. It's not about compulsion. You see, anything that calls for compulsion, of sometimes you receive some level of resistance. What we are talking about is compliance and making things much more flexible and attractive for people to voluntarily adapt it. But what I say, that is where we're thinking government will allow the insurance company to have that attractive environment for business to say, I am insuring my car, I'm insuring my house, I'm insuring my stocks, I'm insuring my properties. But you see, it's Sikeni Hompo. So when you're adding on, you should be assured that that target revenue, you will not get it. Then you'll be looking at another place of raising another taxes. That is not how we are expecting. That's not what we sign up to.
My main TSE ne a for some TSE. My a typical example say ABR product A, me babeto microphone, if a shop. Na me fan say activate 15% VAT. Institution so no chere en kan me ba shop a wosi o 2 cedis no. Se si me ba na say 15% e ba mu na say cost a mutia mo premium na just can also be cost. Sorry, a product also be cost.
The price will go high.
Okay. Sa premium na mutia no yearly, right? So adia wotia in a year. Adan na wo de ba be ma me effect current one so
you spread. You see, in business we have to go anticipation, and what you anticipate you are able to manage. If I know ending of this year, my rent will expire. I need to go and renew my rent. And I know there's a 15% increase in VAT. Obviously, I should anticipate that my rent fee will go high. So I must start making means of raising funds to meet that demand. And our only means of raising funds is the things that we sell. Nneɛma na yɛ tɔn no. Service na yɛ provide no. Ɛho ɛna nye sika ɛde yɛ nneɛma. Nti you look at your pricing model and structure. No one factor in the possible increment, okay, into it, so that you will not be left out in competition. Because if you run on free, you must pay for it. That is why we will start spreading that 15% extra cost to us, to our consumers.
Okay.
But what you say?
Okay. Okay.
One other thing that I want to add on is this. There's always what we call cost of replacement. As business, you restock. You want to revamp it. It's you all share, if I want to do this, looking at the current challenges, okay, what gap will it be created? Okay, that extra gap is a cost for your replacement. If you will share, how do you raise extra revenue? Okay, through sales, through the service that you render, to reduce that gap. That is why we are calling on government that if the needs be, it should suspend this and call for stakeholder engagement. Yes, one of the things that government will want to raise revenue is to meet its capital projections and expectations. We have called on government that a lot of businesses have a lot of liquidity, almost sebi. They are looking for investment. Okay, they don't want to put it in the bank. So you see a lot of people building houses again, but they have the opportunity. They will divert into commercial investment, where they want to build the roads for us through build, operate, and transfer model. So government, you don't have to go and borrow money. You don't have to raise taxes to meet your capital expenditure needs.
Okay.
Leave that space for the business people.
All right.
But what I say, no one is investing into our economy. People are going to Dubai to buy properties. They are going to other countries to invest in because we have limited investment opportunities in this country. When you sit down here about a car, and also the bank. Today, business person have grown beyond that. So government should create that opportunity for us.
But yes, so the background say, oh, see the number form. Wana mo fa no nye adwuma na mo ba beka kire mo ma ye won I said the mo ma yakuma etu yi say esusun so be ba no sun wo ye so dollar esusun ne say aba for mo ye adwuma mo other businesses na ekoyie. So if other businesses are doing well in terms of a dollar no aba for mo other na mo forgive na mo fan say 15 you know it's still amended within the lowest of the dollar.
I'm thinking your argument is what they also look at, that now business have money, so yeah, let's go and tax money from them. But that is not it. That is not it. I can tell you this. On the surfaces, we all know that dollar has gone down. Therefore, businesses are making some savings. But in reality, it is not like that. Okay? If you ever have any engagement with any business person, Obeka will say, yeah, brace say, the reason is this.
Dollar number for me.
Makoto Niema at the rate of 15 cedis to $1. And the dollar above from 10.8 or so.
10, yeah.
And it's a mintiso. It's okay, I want to respond to the market. It's a matiso. Matiso, no. Sales are not going well like I'm expecting. One, matiso, no. I've had a capital lost. Because me man at 15 cities. Now, if we have to reduce it crab by 3 cities crab by the quantities of items you have, there's a certain capital lost.
Okay.
Into the end say, oh, Tisunanka, sales contemua. Now, quack of new items about. But sales in Koso said the no. Especially those into food commodities. So, no team got 1 bag of rice or 2 containers, sugar container, mackerel container. What in your but we buy or single items. And what is so what cut it down. So the replacement, it's costing us a lot. So no one should have this impression that because forests have come down, businesses have a lot of savings, therefore we should go and tax them. That should not be it. But rather we should be looking at, let's allow businesses to grow. Let's not disturb them with any taxes now. Just like I indicated, when businesses are doing well and their profits are going high, government, you can tax them through corporate income tax.
Okay. Right, Charles, yate, but most say more calling for meetings, right? Na yen share kwan be fa so amoso mo betumi eno my say ban say still na ye be boho na mo 15 e be ba form somebody okay quick one na yenko.
No, but is it that necessary? Is the timing right? We are calling for an engagement, stakeholder engagement. We are calling for a suspension of the introduction of the VAT.
Okay.
That's 15%.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. All right, Charles Kusi Apia, could be your head business and economic bureau, Emma Guta, and I know Eddie Common. Almost say Ministry of Finance, Guta for say they're calling for an engagement on the current 15% GRA announcement to know and VAT on non-life insurance premium. And who's this one? So, as ye, a behadjune, a beha the ordinary Ghanaian. And as much as dollar number form, almost still la no, Susan Swan soon. And this is not the right time. A bit to me a day a year a juma. Into no more engagement. You share and no. Na ye who dear bay. WhatsApp number is 055 0596 929 and on Facebook 055 056 7929. And also WhatsApp messages are will to me there fast enough so text messages are what they ever fast on what about making kind nina amount. It's 818 Kessben TV and on Facebook Kessben FM 92.9 on Kessben Facebook Kessben TV. Charles McCarthy, managing editor Emma the Hawk newspaper Fiana Facebook Ram Mahmoud Kabori, spokesperson Emma Lance Minister Minister Papa. And I'm facing citizen Ato Dazi, General Secretary Emma GCPP. Also better na fear in common ashes so now watching in seminal edos ye pa. But that moment the 15% VAT on non-life insurance premium no you better won't come on now fee ya call what really transpired within the week issues ni na mebo bosso na ye di and common. Now this one is from Okine, from Senate West District, precisely Bantama. Or say, after forcing and the NDC lied to Ghanaians, they promised to remove nuisance taxes, but now we are paying 15% VAT on non-life insurance. So drivers, tenants, and small businesses must suffer while they preach relief. This is betrayal of trust. Mahama. We Nadia or de ebaye or no so feel said the econo and ya de betimi akoye intino yen na yen teteswana se yin fi hokra and also hon komo ewo honum Robbie from near Golda Hotel Kumasi. Minister for Communications Sam Joy jointly accused President Akufo-Addo along with President Mahama and the NDC of being partners in this dangerous society. Despite the absence of a single truth in their allegations, regards to Chairman Coker, Francois Ashanti, regional organizer and officer Samuel Pine from former KMA boss, or also Nadia or de Ebaye, and then this one is from a teacher, Kojo Tepa. Teacher Kojo, good morning. Or say, President Mahama must be cautious in his decision regarding the removal of the Chief Justice so as not to create the impression that he is incapable of working with people of independent thought. Ghana is not just for NDC members. Everyone is important for the reset agenda. If everything becomes partisan, where is the country heading? Greetings to Chairman Odenoho Kweku Apia Koka JFK Obatampa Mivisawa Komsen Mr. Owusu Bempa the constituency chairman hopeful and also Nadia Odebayan. And then this one is coming from my man from Kumasi Bantama Masa Wood. Or say, good morning, fantastic KPD. The efforts to remove the suspended Chief Justice is a political orchestration. I describe this event as a bad precedent I will urge the ruling government against crying foul if injustice should they be subjected to such treatment in the future. When they are in opposition, I pray to God that we are alive in this country to witness the same harassment when the table turn. Regards to former KMA boss, Honorable Sam Pine. I know, and now by 8:22 is the time. In paying for Atnase, you bidding come na fe no ya share within the week, the AC no na ye di hu enkomo. Yane Ora Felix Kwachi Ofosu, spokesperson to the president, and I so communication Emma Ora communication Emma government. You know Eddie Nkomo exclusive on the Chief Justice issues and already issues be as to why people mibisano the issue of say amount for say political but ochechre mu edin sembebre na no by very exclusive you know ebedi hu enkomo obobo nema bebre so a ye gidi say you know besan ahye biom na fe empemfo atena se ne ebobo hu ne edi hu enkomo yie pa afa so you know ebedi enkomo afa the NPP and afa so issues and matters arising. Yene another exclusive Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo Eddie Enkomo FR the MPP and matters arising. 2 things or 3 things are yene no Eddie hu Enkomo. The one has to do with the top bottom approach, and I feel so the other issue that has to do with current executives and then the presidential aspirants in Inano and Komo Mudi Abronye and the echo and the Benina and no Eddie hu Enkomo. We'll touch on Galamsey. I think this morning, Dawn, I read something from Wasa, say Yachi in Crawford 7 or 17. So far, that area in Potemo Honum. Of course, Charles McCarthy, me updates because last 2 weeks, many didn't come off fire, the Koso, was Sino, and the Koina in terms of Galamsey. I just want to know, I see who the update and a follow up are also. Intenom, Yensha near Felix, Kwachi Ofosu. Interview with regards to okay. Inti yebebo eno enche kra yebebo eno bransa na ma mene painful enchia mincha painful na fe yenhwe de eko. Charles, morning bibi aboko de.
Sina morning. Say ahondin wo ho.
Ohun sa.
Ba kabutum.
A obotom nye.
Botum nye.
How?
Na krumbeya wo den so a super yafori or say new botum.
But bibia you fine. At least for the first 6 months here.
No. This is personal.
We are personal.
This has nothing to do with Taban. O say enema mu ye me come me de.
Wo de n just obotom nye.
Botum nye na me kan. Si krom de krom adu.
No cre.
Central phobia can adwin.
Yeah.
Central for 13 ministers Ghana ha.
I am from Munko.
Previously na nya sa na tie na ban mu for the 13 central for. And the tables are 10. Central need to meet the TV so guys I'll come after you.
Nah, be the
Otiho. Nobody cares about it. No be sending a message. Until no be a kasa. Be a kasa ne man for me demonstration. I'm about 3 months into his government. Police for my come man for a demonstration.
Yeah.
Akufo-Addo by 2017 to 2020. There was not a single demonstration at police for Penis Mobia. Until his last 10 years, 4 years, and on Moja Baku na Mama Obiako, you better cry this on Moko court. Engineer Fanis had there, I think everything is on course.
By a bottom na
Akabutum.
Sakabotum, the any problem because Mohamed Kaba redu Hankwa there. Bibia is sorted. Enti me show den say answer na be fi ha no na che say bibia is sorted. I ha ho. E penfo bi basa na Charles me ha ho. Bottom ne ye kan say no.
Governor of Bank of Ghana Nkra. So decision to rescind or my
Yes, the 100 workers no.
The things a useless one.
Okay, meba. Mamene min check about review na fe yemra na men shall say from Ohona fe yem fe no shall say. I think you really will want to touch on that and all that. Mohammed, biya boko there.
Alhamdulillah.
Mahmood, right?
Mahmood.
Say they watching me din.
Amansa sonfo Kojo Preko Dankwah. Paul Amantem, what's the canfor?
I see the Magiatum. Magiatum.
Say also.
Magiatum, yes.
My mom also. Yes, and share with you for. It's been a rainy morning.
Yeah.
It's not good for Union Mumufri Haji, but because of one or two things in there. But we're hoping, say, maybe next year or more, now the state of the art facility, Ghana Airport Company, is, or more because Udruwa Air Homete. It was Ghana Airport Company, say, more fast track process. I believe the Muslim community is one of their major and unfailing customer or client, your friend is saying, community. This to me, more that good condition of Babia or Baba pet service na Babwa. I'm a dana then, no, even Yahotas from Kunewono at the Juma Esena Efata.
Okay.
I went here. The boss and no pay or so huge medal and he just tested me.
Yechiano,
right, Manuel Amakufu, Council. So I check Ghana Funina, Nayama Muslim Juma Mubarak.
Okay, but I say, hey, Sadiq Herbal Center, some countries are more Flex on 600. Now, Flex on 600, herbal mixture, a bois mamon sa 83 joint pains and after sexual weaknesses, hey, Sadiq Herbal say Flex on 600, able to me up wow, and massa stiffness, in your joints and after numbness, once 83, 9, able to me acco. Elephant herbal mixture, eso ewo ho ema wo sisi pains mo ebetumi aboa mo constipation mo nom herbal mixture friend elephant herbal mixture I fi Sadiq Herbal Center honum so and Sadiq Herbal powder and also for cocoa pulse ebetumi aboa ye pa elephant ointment so what body pains backbone rheumatism swollen legs pepa cho elephant ointment who use wa ebeko ye ama pa so pedudu to akọ Kanshi Drug Lane, Kobidia Enterprise, King's Walk Herbal, Rupash Herbal, Tenatet Herbal, Helus Herbal, and I'll cut them as well. Little George Pharmacy, Ashama na Ekus Pharmacy, and Nkoko a Hillside Pharmacy. Kumase a Kolinak Herbal, Misty Herbal, Apidank, and I face to Freddie Menz and a Mama Becky Herbal, Nina Onsa Ebekembi. What you share is Sadiq Herbal Center and Kasapadi, Marine Junction near the toll booth, our central region. Kwano so honomwa 0244 153511 0244 153511 and our first 055 799 797. Onsa ebe to me akomo. Mamene Charles and Shasia, you are touching on the Bank of Ghana 100 workers na omu I've also seen it that as a Omar reverse. If it is true, I mean, you say you have challenge with it?
Yes.
Are they?
The same tier Bank of Ghana, one strategic institutions, financial sector. And if you have an institution such as Bank of Ghana, now almost chance decide this you, Nipa 150, you have form of probation, 100 and Kofi. Not because of public backlash. Now Bank of Ghana said, well, rescinding decision now. For me, it erodes credibility and public confidence. It does not augur well for the Bank of Ghana. What it means is that they did not think through that decision and San or Modiba Betuja. I say. So what informed the decision to even say Omar Sakiomo in the first place? Were they employed in the first place? No, a probation. And by law, probation, probation for 6 months. Say, what you are satisfactory, you be confirm you. So say, I draw no man confirm you. What is it? And then, why it has made it such critical, say, Bank of Ghana, so reversing that decision. They should come with an explanation. Merely reversing the decision, like I said, it erodes credibility and public confidence. You see, it signals, say, weak and not independent.
Really?
Yes. Because what it means is that obishe baby and now what come and now what tier bank of governors say why they won't mean go and change it. And no koye. If not, there is no reason that can support sa decision we. And now me can be Sam George. I take keys from radio stations off air.
Yes.
Now within 3 minutes, when I'm not present, Emma directed to know. Me, I've said this that it was a bad thing for the presidency to have done. Minister Nakoye Nadie, would you to me in a man when it is not possible? Say Minister Nkwabetina Demu, no, I take his decision, or best signal, benya clearance and sanawaye. And this I did not be tuja. Namuhunsu and Chaya, what you do. So you whisper to the minister to use another method to grant that amnesty. So it should have come from the minister, not the presidency. Until we are now, you are virtually telling the people, say, yes, who need to me, who need to. Until China no bit my or China will quack ye be or bedroom when I wear me quack ye. Ye me go many masiana. The damping spirit of the people. And it's a governor na koye bibi. Na mom pe sit near governor na mo nyin to mo or na ye. Money in kasa with them. So next time if you want to take a decision like this, communicate to us. Let's give you the green light. But not say, well, yeah, you know, I better reverse it.
Okay. And
in fact, more beyond crash, the hope be any that you bogus. I don't know my bayano.
Okay. I said I call Mahmoud Hono. The issue of Galamsey, I think last 2 weeks, and you did Hong Kong, and you were on Osino, right?
Yes.
Osino, yes. What update in here there?
My man, say it's good. Say Kabori Waha.
Exactly.
In our press conference, you can say Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. Na onim say ama godinama. Or 2 cents as it. The abetuja, the videos number. I'm making sure on cut good board also. But me checks HSA got the number that's what the good board also. Until I my imagine say in the coming weeks, you be update the public through the same medium where you use say yes, yeah, but those who are supposed to act are not acting. I say. Many can or the machines or tries or be reclamation kakra or be cover holes and I know so much. I could try and so with the other two. It be update no. Engineer Chen said the place is still the way it is. Nothing has changed. Transistor or and I penny for so making sure say Sabi on be no money. I say Muntimin ko. Yeah, Connie Kuhuni the bio express you will act and act fast on it. We didn't ask for anything big. It's simple. See now, the videos na be tuja. Omo share bo say omo see with me. E wo court. E say mon try court to crawl. Na yin shia mo. E me see ne omo ntimi mpie. But feed we so. Me ni Razak or your spokesperson. It is here Mr. Razak mo die. Chair Mr. wo High Court 2, High Court 3. Mem fi honum. Me ba no my bed court process no. Why is it? Need the assist because you were evident you won so till today they have not been able to come out.
All right. Matthias here. Kabari had the bedi who enkomo ye because of course Galamsey so can Matthias no ye bedi but as I remember Kabari ho my main can away from Facebook more Facebook no on Kessben TV no making come with the nyina mamo celebrity pastor say watching you live kind of morning show Kojo Preko Dankwah from Tema celebrity good morning me da be brave and then Londona says keep it up Kojo Preko Dankwah Londona good morning Amisko Spelele Kaswa or say it's in the step direction that Bank of Ghana has reversed the termination of 100 employees. In fact, JDM must do same to other public sector workers whose appointments were wrongfully revoked. Hashtag reinstate them now. and I feel so or say anyway to Honorable Mavis Hawaii comes an incoming MPP National Women's Organizer Matthias here KMMA or B or say 2 p.m. Ashanti Mampong or say let's all help build Mother Ghana. Greetings to Nana Ajimabwatin Ashanti Mampong Butuku Hene. Okay, and also Nediano Piaga say Mahama is the hope. Okay, Mate Odiano Masawood Makan Odiano Wahanamanafe so Palos Kaswa or say Palos Kaswa American Town Kinky House aka Dr. Baumia Wafase or say Dr. Baumia's vision for Ghana has nothing short of transformational. His leadership, innovation, dedication to national development is unmatched. Undoubtedly, he is poised to lead the new patriotic party in a resounding victory in 2028. Regards to Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsen, incoming National Women Organizer. And then Kojo Asempa Furniture Works on Facebook or say, this is the most popular morning show ever from Kojo Asempa Furniture Works. The Doom Kumasi Kojo Bibia Boko Dear or no so Nidia or the Eba. No 8:37 is the time. And we're Kessben TV and I've also Kessben 92.9. Kabari Bebem. But my yentie ora Felix Kwachi Ofosu interview in the year and that will begin your discussion on the Chief Justice, suspended Chief Justice in the press conference and I feel so issues so raising say unconstitutional, political, and I feel so nema wake kenyina no yane ora Kwachi Ofosu Felix Eddie and Komo exclusive here on Kessben TV and I feel so Kessben 92.9. Yentie na fe yemra na started the ball rolling.
Say Kojo, say previous answer oba betia studio ho aye program okoje ademudie efi ya na ho say we be kan asem no achia. Eye obi akwa na kase studio so be hwe asem. We say nyesa na wo hu na edwuma. Na edwuma wo ye wo hu nefi. So Ghana na achia say opinion bia ya be power say be ye no if you man opinion e go speak of parliament e ba Chief Justice said e go na atse na wo dia e Ghana for dia e mra da ho nti ne ye ba ko menu ye say we say wo ya e wo say ye nhwehwe na nhwehwe so ye wo kwan ya e fa so ye no a constitution be chere say ye fa so e na afi say nhwehwe no say ye no kra e be twa so e ko nya ne fi ase nti wan penity won say onye ne yebi ne etia Ghana amamra constitution na wo betumi de eye enkrata akodan parliament say we do na so say wa benya ye na afan ne no ba don e motion akosa ma benya ye ntinju na yeso parliament na se ya to aba na mu tu text e tu mu say ana ye chere mu bi sa na mu mi e tu so ma benya de wa ye no enye no ya you will pay for so you to be okay. The same with Speaker of Parliament and the Chief Justice. Chief Justice, they are not so we did at the ambassador and I said, be back. And now the queer will be a Chief Justice said, why you back home and into Susan on some of the Chief Justice. The fact of crime is the attempt on my Benin Sacra. I was on the Council of State, a dream was said. The Boniface the Prime Officer said, as someone, the Pandemic time, on my Bill 7. In a so was so and I toss to go and sign. Yet to me, it's one. And say it here now. Obiabasa, shed the shame. A couple. Yet there will not say if I don't know Nipan the bar, yeah, never so. No one say Nipan the bar, not say a fita. Also, she will shed a fita a year, a hocosia. Now, you should not, in so near that cosia, the fita, and shed out soon as you. And the young man in the foie a pump set and can't say, I said, it's a couple. Somebody bassa pack a fita and you're not Nipan Udika. Somebody must not say a sicapoco and then Nipan or Asamokan and continue to move. And see if it be prima facie. John Penny Council of State, that's not say, okay. Nipan, I say, Chief Justice. And we are war in Grand Prix and anyway. No, so baba. But the bar here can't be this. Say, we are some come. Chief Justice. Wakama man say, Sikebia, a yet 1,000 cedis a pocket, one. Now, I knew your woman, and Sunday, trust me. Oh, Obi the 1,000 man, no one will go to you at the bread. If you could say, a idea to you the baby. Oh, sir, okay, and yet. My power was so good on the shoes and pass away to show now. Now, almost what to me, and you must away, you know, bread that said the cup prime with himself. And now, some makers then come in near the mall, or be able to send it near the mall. It's 1,000 no end to the himself. Oh, and you're not, there's no prima, there's no business. Yes, you want some pass away, and I send you. Aha. Then, almost a week, I was so, and pack my 1,000, then we to sure. I say, show some pass it. What you do, sure, it was what you had to say, 1,000 video. Until no more, as a big nation, I see a cold home. In some paper, the year prima fashion really also. And in a soca crepe, when I knew you are Yabano, and said, yes, and no, Papa said, yes, on my opinion on say, what? A year, I judge in the force of Uncle Moon, but who you to me? Okay. Near probably Papa, 9 years. Another Supreme Court judge said on 1 year's action. So I'm only going to just say, assembly in as well, your move. Omokas assembly in as well, and it is to say, Chief Justice no, what to do my assets in here in fear, yes, one. On my beginning, check a hour, say, obey it, you know, and some are mentioned. On my beginning, said, Council of 2 say, young man, Chief Justice no, what's now, and change near one.
Okay, enti Ora Felix Kwachi Ofosu and I know Edin Komo exclusive on this matters arising with Chief Justice and the Echo and the Benyina. Indeed, within this week, you know, a Chief Justice, a press conference. People are even saying it's a press conference in the crown. Esefata says so or ana. And now to say we breachy and there may be before the home come bebre and you ye bedi and who and come ye pa lawyer as what I said here we know that we will take lawyers' point of view from that press conference and other matters Ora Felix Kwachi Ofosu release, you know, and as only a who and come Citizen Ato Dazi Atenasi General Secretary GCPP also Atenasi abedi come boss be able call there.
Oh, senior Amiado.
What are you never fair?
That's it. Mr. I own a Makati.
Oh, okay.
Na Kabori. I pay Maminchia wash of phone away.
Yeah, Obiajo so.
Minchia was no production team.
Yeah, that's it.
Kabori, the mission actually.
I
think the last time I met him was radio good actually.
Oh, okay.
I think last year or 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So good to see him.
Yeah, that's it.
Na I pay Makati. Makasembia Maso 2 or 3 days ago, make a camp baby. When I heard about Tuesday, I was at class.
Okay.
And the issue of Bank of Ghana issue. And yakikabia so says I'm no because I've not heard of from the Bank of Ghana.
Yeah, Richard, you double checks am I?
Yes, I've not heard from it from the Bank of Ghana, so I want to be fair to them. But if it is true, it is worrying because a kade a performance review, and based on that, you take a decision. What will it mean there? So now, what has changed? Do the people so qualify to be in those positions now? Because you said that it was out of a review. I'm on KPIs. They are on probation. You expect they would deliver according to their KPIs. If you are doing a performance review, they are not meeting your vision or target. You let them go. And I even stated there, most of the institutions, there are so many people who are there, who sometimes when you baby crampons me could be Ghana gas for some time now. What's Ghana gas? Yes. Okay, there. I mean, last year many customers say in Kofa wa phone edwuma no. Some of them don't even come to work because when they come they won't get a place to sit. You understand? So sometimes we need to be fair to each other.
Okay.
I understand that as parties, political parties, when we win power, we want to employ our people. Yes. But at the end of the day, just suppose that with the results that comes from employment now, you know. Because if you are not getting any results, then it becomes difficult for you to pay them. Then you keep on burdening all of us in terms of taxes.
Okay.
Because first, each year budgeter, emolument in terms of payment, salaries and all those things is a huge chunk. First, in fact, it was the first thing on our budget. Until recently, a kawa or the yutia to other countries. But aside that, you know, it was salaries. And how can we keep on sustaining those things when we are not getting the needed results or revenue to be able to sustain those payments?
Okay.
And I think it's an issue.
All right.
Now the pemichia Dr. Strebo Kweku of the Electoral Commission. Mimdan pebia or Oshishui.
Okay.
It turns out on the catch up the shopping. Dr. Strebo Kweku and the pemichia.
All right. Come on, my man on the your name Felix Kwachofosu Edin Komo FA Chief Justice. And the press conference, and I face so matters are rising. Uti what Felix Fosu Kwache Ekaye or say and political and unconstitutional like that. Senior or more canon. And other matters that are really happening with them. Mameno any in some Kosono. The first 10 minutes, your own Nafi young other matters.
That's Sidia Kojo Momena Penifo so asi na Franche Modruma watifo no wahwefo up until enene nansa ya maame Saba tukono ebeka sai. Thanks as well monitor media space issues surrounding this particular petition. Counting commodity from Kubian free presidency. Sanse enone kwampano. Petition say beba parties afanu no minu nyina bom ho modern say omode mra no be adwum mra no say say mom premo huntu asem kro no srani abasa fa asem no meto abonten na mom abadwekwa ya pa ho ni benya gidie ne ata ho no achi na won hwehwe mu no asiase na kire no obi wo me na sepo bia we hear ba me nyina ya bobo over the years Sembia ya article 146 ene ebon bra na ema ya kwankyere soronkoma yedi no saa se no ana ya go through na meka no wo sister station bi say no kureni in recent times na me find it difficult to find a perfect female version of Ura Untumi, but now no mama no ye no pressure we I was convinced she perfectly fits as the female version of Ura Untumi. Senior, Mami, we practice mra.
The female version of
Ura Untumi. We practice mra in fear be somewhat 38 years. Betty, I'm not a lawyer. I will not claim to be one. Ebi adachi bi na minya America krana maybe dia I can't tell. Obi enim dia old. But I won't pretend this morning to be a lawyer. But me kura no adwo ataba me free selection. I mean see law class 1 dan. Meaning say ade amama no be was a stab in the back of the Ghanaian law. Say unimu amania say won say amania. Sanso na unimu mara untieti amara so. Ti maame no nim say petitions are ye nimu nkomo kopem say bibisi ana. Ti di obeye ye no. Na eye justifiable so ye. Ana say wonim mo papa no ena oja ye bone. Sometimes in an attempt to advance your personal interest, you know, am I into to mine emra ase. Sabi anya hwekura no. Mami tuko no baba emra kwanya no no so enam so. So what legacy? What example ɛna ɔde gya wo ba no sɛ ɔkyena biara no ɛdeɛ na wɔmfa nya adesua deɛ ɛmfa mfiri mu ɛne yɛde edi kan de tɔ so mmienu a mefiri so tietia mmara no so committee a yɛde asɛm yi assume certain judicial powers nti ne yɛ sɛ ɛyɛ quasi judicial committee maame no mmara a sɛdeɛ nka yɛsusu onim mmara no adeɛ bi a committee ni yɛ afo sɛ ɛnkɔ yie ma no deɛ enim ne sɛ nka wobɛhwɛ ama deɛ ɔmo yɛ biara no akɔ so yɛwie a wɔn verdict ɔmo de bɛba no when you're happy with it you can seek review of that verdict committee na wie maame tukɔ no ɛhwehwɛ mu a de deɛ ɔsɛ okɔ fie ɔbɔnyo so a wetumi de akɔ court seeking review of that particular say judgment or recommendation whatever it is maame tukɔ no ɛhwehwɛ mu no ɛsɛ ɔho so sɛ brɔde dwo wɔsɛ ɔtoa so yɛ adwuma onji ntumu na pese ukɔgye wa home nti oni committee ni nya adwen oni petitioners ni adwen you seek for review nti knowing all of this na utu mirika ba Ghana for through media you are not different from who to me or chane demo Ghana for mo sare eye munti eye me say you are not different she is not different from who to me
Kessben 92.9
nti me the mesre no sabe de nyina na your mind chichire and the examples of processes we are enye nne na ehase se nne na ehase de abi ye ade foforo tina penisi sa control ho de anhase ne obiri ponko apeso amanfo twa ho za ahire kwa nti won to no bo na said ye na no aba na de botachi no o ma no ho kwan na ono so go through the same process as up until now na chief justice to me enim say ade ekoso bia ye emra processes of article 146 na to be for apaka say but titi say nkrofo bi kura kan o media say eye politically motivated esi pani due matemante openi kwadwo wabetina ha ka say ade eye maame na eye politically motivated na mika bore mi nko kan ba bia mentize owura atodazi akoka bia na tasmakati akoka hwan na eka anya miracle abuaje a na ya bronye anasa afenyo Maakye wo mu free party be mu so now the MPP has now become the benchmark sisudua for the high office of a chief justice of this country and you take your insinuations your innuendos and assumptions from the MPP to make public commentary on matters of law. Media, baby, mammy will be and she should bow her head in shame. Obegu no who anymore say. Now it doesn't augur well. Say, baby, and Kanyamia Pejana could do no. One then a home be for a sign near me, na be yadim guasiesa at the amano. Say. Well, for a power catcher and say, people are threatening her. Me OTS is here will be threatening what? He found out. Law enforcement agencies. Now, media near Prosi. What you wear out? Kessben reporter with him, baby, mammy, Chief Justice what? Make a borrow me tea be meaning baby or tea. And this every person more home and made the more home. Bible said you need papa one na ebony. If you know that the media is not the right avenue to seek protection. Na o jump to media say you threatening me. Muso ba press conference as a process phone. O bet na se kura na ukuna antina wachi, process ni na ti wachi. Etu fam na taso. Wo nye safe. Me a ade san me nam lungu the street light kura baby wo na abona ni kakra na me nam subu kofie me ni nuanom 32 million Ghanaians with no security protection in terms of one man one police no ye na ebe timajo nti sa sunu what was the essence of it yemfa bibia anto nchan say kabore aban na woso and the chief justice asem na ba ye no free etisim na ye ni nkomo no se Ghana na obi di kwadu abo ye mpeni ye somfo bi na constitution say kwan we ne yemfa so na wa ba bontin na oka bi fufuro ne yedi ho komo yemfa sa say etrim na yem say these issues we are raising, are they legitimate or not?
Kessben 92.9.
Nti asembe na waka, you should go to the police. Police ka say yentimi mmoa wo de a nyen ka oba press conference say ye threaten me my report to ma ha bia adansuma police command won so omo ntimi mmoa me my report to ma kanesi won so omo ntimi mmoa me, then we all ye be hold police responsible say bibi ye wa.
Okay.
But then the okay nyina de hura dasem was say on jintum no on resign ko so resign no resign because I don't know I will not resign over dark and opaque in camera discussions. 1995 Ghana Bar Association versus the Attorney General. Na in camera. Ajechum 2005 year. On the Attorney General na in camera. Gen Z for no grand kai 2015 2016. Justice Derry and Tiger IPI na in camera. Where from that self-entitlement? I said, Mammy took on off you say, what would you sort above will be not seven no, you didn't quantum on Coso. I then when you're arguing with the dream on your Ghana knee. Equality before the law, no, I hear cano. You say the two Kono family are exempted, Anna. Why is he behaving that way? And also, only case, and Yadia, the all cano, a Yadia Eden. Etosum committee no question ye bisa no enye question ya ebetima gina so kura akase mu odura ebetimi de ntansa kura bono ama ya duru pempenso ya duru nti question ya bisa no enye relevant emunye duru a which questions did she responded to mampani send a petition no command questions be no responded to, and there was a committee no miss relevant questions. Kan ya kwesi say committee no kura de ekita no nye no na yebisa no ho asem ti ama no petition se okwe na nimu anu oba na chi sa refree se ba polo se manu twa wo a omo friends menopause ma menos minzu se menopause ni menopause no ga stage 1 menopause nti mano mribri mfa niema mribri ani so sa em pretend
onim levels ni na
levels wo but what I say nti onyai de oye no na nya de boa na say de ya rehwo kura me de na ye me won say al adulodge no a na no omampani akufuado ekosiesie me mo na baso maybe I've always said aban bia ba or the or I didn't know to go see na ya depa ananya depa ya depa now ka say it represent resilience sa dan na may hunu say it represent diplomacy sa dan na may hunu say it represent national unity. Those were the adjectives that Buffalo were using. Now what's a man brother be you one was say that is a different conversation for another day. A hon ye coon wanting wo kotena ho a se esoso adaye o se den yo nti no sa venu no kura na nya de a obepene because what wa memories bi eba obi a watena Kumasi ache udru Kumasi old tafo benkum ni nifa so se nyina na ye funsie ena omo ye se yemfa benkum no mo standing kwachi fa kire o mankramofo no na nifa so nyina ye nwimfiri ho no yemfa ho mboa na nipa nya ba bintina eno na nam so a ye benya ansase wo nifa so a bi kwa de tafo government hospital etimi yare na de ye de me kwa tafo government hospital na me say o na me wo fa bi wu ye no ye kosie no ho nti no me koda ho a ebe sosumi adayama mo fa me ko how does this contribute to your democracy no aye sa experiment na how does that contribute to it when you say we na o chire ba bi eni wasem
okay
na me fo wa ba me kunu anko wafa kwasi botwe ni wo fa ase yankoranti kowi abode wo ayi kwa ubukruwa ye che nu adi ni kwagina docket mu no ne wo fa kora ya mana nwura court to them hobi see as wo ye ohene oba judge betima yayi One who will be a court and none year being a docket to Mwabuanoda. And now say, on count one precedence.
Okay.
Article 146 case, ye dear, ye see will be a bush penny buano, will be here in Cobonichidom, then Panacobonichidom, no Fasocobonichidom.
Okay. All right.
And
This
is much more ado about nothing.
Okay.
In some my American, you know, me said, I'm a boss, or Felix of Zuka Chicano. My minun timin to train. I may inquire idea tia or my Ghana American. We will not follow her to discussing the nitty-gritty of the petition. I am running in a juma. So to we are whom be a society, the body who
2 minutes past the hour of 9. Mahmoud Kabori, spokesperson to Land Minister and in Kano. Evangelist Abel Kankambuedu, aka Teacher Bonti from Ashanti Achim of Mwase. Also, good morning, Mr. Host. NDC will always defend the removal of Chief Justice. In this, they call resetting Ghana is repaying NDC foot soldiers. My regards to Sofu Penny and Koma Nyaku Nicholas of Ofuansi Wesley Methodist Church, who is watching you now. Good morning, Osofo Michelle Yepa. Makati, Yanko. Yes, sir.
I think, sir, the former Chief Justice are cementing the position in their politics. Obitimeako women organizer. Because the public speaking abilities are superb. Udi need to
woman organizer says
Udi need to how a Kumsinhua. She's far ahead, eloquently positioned. The flowery language makes her a better national women organizer than the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. And here is why.
That's a baby.
On the kind, I see my attempted removal politically motivated.
Yes.
If she's not a politician, politicians won't go after you.
Mm-hmm.
Politicians go after their counterparts, politicians. Me whom politician was sorry I see somebody in the judiciary who that public service. No. Politicians always attack themselves. Until onuana numutu or say my attempted removal is politically motivated or confirming the position. Say or your politicians and you know or co-women organizer ebeboa. Now you speculate this time wabe confirm it. Me so a former Chief Justice because me dey miswa. Mo betimi aka me say there was a Chief Justice in this country or who do press conference as a Chief Justice.
Maybe you do lawyer bit much here, but for the best of my knowledge,
has
nothing.
there been a Chief
I think
Justice?
this is unprecedented. Our press conference of this nature.
Conference
this is the first time ever.
In this manner.
Yeah, first time ever.
Carrying a life, undemocratic as she is. The question. It is not a press conference. You have been in this game for long. You know the nature and form of press conference. There are Q&A. For bizarre questions based on your work. No way you are no. Or you no the microphone too or no call. But I will blame President John Dramani Mahama for this mess. No, and I'm my brain. You see, what's the police for 5 and I need dinner? When I police need dinner then. She's been suspended. You're suspended. We withhold you all your entitlement until see a seminary. So we are cleaner. Now you are reinstated everything. When you are interdicted, that is the process that will come. This suspension is akin to interdiction. Enunti ena appointee will be fulfilled in her stead as acting Chief Justice. So the accolades the entitlement be a due you no now the acting chief justice and as you nyas hard no. What it is on hold, yen scrap for ye. A do was some we near so whom so near reinstate need the amount, so compensation or need the amount. But we majanas are and a police in it that's dinner cheap. Police won't feel so she still see herself as a chief justice. This woman came to invoke emotions, not occur to public sympathy. And that is where I have a problem with Felix Ofosu-Kwakye responding to her. Because under Article 146, the procedure, the hearing, in camera. So, Mamina violated the in camera hearing. It wasn't for our presidency or government to support her or to join her in the gutter. So, no, decided to obey allow her to muddy the waters, make herself dirty. So for that response from Felix, I find it unfortunate because it was unnecessary. It was needless. Mamiwe was courting for public attention. And of record we PR, all along, this has been what she was looking for. A seminar coup. This is another means of reintroducing the topic for us to discuss it. And she has succeeded because Felix responded to her. Oh, we are not Felix because you, Ebia, will diabano, but because a matter before the committee, and committee is hearing it, so our challenge be on dealing with it at the committee level, this would have been a dead matter. So, from political communication point of view, this is how you do. In PR sanity, you don't give this woman the oxygen to fly. And she has a front page prominence. For what? No, for what? Share October 30th, 2024, and now here. As a president of the Supreme Court, Thaddeus Sorry, and another lawyer, Emma Chief Speaker of Parliament, and already concerns on say and as Gawu said there. Oni Oye MPP ni Waye MPP parliamentary candidate in the voter region, and for that matter, on Timintana. Somehow to quarter NPP involved. This was what the Chief Justice, the then Chief Justice, now former Chief Justice, Araba Tokono, Ekanye. Or see, the case is constitutional and not political. Therefore, the application is misconceived and dismissed. She relied on Article 128. Clause 4 was the case no mudiabe to court no a constitutional and that a political and what dismiss it. Oba January 4th, 2021, Supreme Court had dismissed case objection case against Justice Onyenuga. And this was what it says. The court said that there was no substance in the allegation against Onyenuga, no, almost in the relationship with Peter Mewu, is such that he would not be fair in the matter because he was solid tied with Peter Mewu. The court, led by Araba Tokonu, then as she was Chief Justice, said no, there was no substance in it. October 2021, Justice Doche, any Onyenuga, the same bias, see no, there was no substance, and that they cannot substantiate the claim of bias. No, tuguye. And then, Mami Wei, she was part of a body, Supreme Court body, I know Moma 11-0, 11-0, 9-0, 7-0. In her press conference, or Kabibi, or see, Puamai, has targeted her because omutna case be so and a poaman call A and onu call B. It tells you why they were giving us 7-0, 9-0, 12-0. Because see ye tihai me try my dream na citizen be try na dream then citizen will become a target for me. Entinu, we must all sing the same song. According to Arabato Konu, that was how they were operating our bench as judges of the Supreme Court. Enunti ena poama edia cheni timusi on penasem because omudia sembia betu nanim na onu ko say ena poama ko say. How can a Chief Justice speak this way? Chief Justice become we are Ghana for. Obaye no obege ni na wan camera bia dezo samra we die omabuso. Number of expose no. O si emra mu no wa kwanya si o tukwan o di nipa mienu betu ebeko mebo a. But one kind near so no. Nipa mienu no were specified. It was not vague, that just two. And when she was speaking, she said for security reasons. Now, security reasons now we took kwanya, Ukunu or your Blue Army commander.
Dabi.
Is your daughter a Salvation Army lieutenant?
I be so say a judiciary a branded chair say obey to me.
See, judiciary mbano ye nyina ya kan bi e wo two. Ye wo private and official. In any of the two of security and ADC na just am of no or ye part of it. And in any of the two, your security is constant because of her security concerns and reasons into factors into untimi nko abra security ni wachi into tu kwan bia so we with security call. You have no option to vary that provision in the rules. So for oba now oba bet mabo ho ban and na me bisa say the ba no your Salvation Army commander na ze nukunu your blue water guy move from the wardens are now the no kan ho bi. Why you when you know you near camp instead of when you be now what in your guy she won't resign. It is not for her to resign because Babia you don't want me resigning. Where we have gotten to, she can't resign, so she should stop getting the impression say she has the option of resigning, but she will not. No, she doesn't have it. Okay. Now, committee now she does not respect. Now, court dambe na FS ni abi omo ya seven. Na nya say lawyer na tia. Mo court na e tu. Ba bia omo ye Supreme Court building no ye president of the Supreme Court no. I mean lift na we na say from 1982 to today you have not been able to fix the lift. I'm telling you can send your camera people to go there. 1982 to date. Omuntimi nya you fix it lift in that because you climb and go. People disabled, and what have you? There more case no more court Supreme Court. How do they go? What now? What better ways you want to tell her? Now more court to damn na papa. Will you die na one cry? Hana he now court damn papa. A condition room. Now why ya sit down from my court? Someone new asma. When I bet now police in chill they be. Don't you still use the road? Yen take court no mu jeli amanfo. Ya asem ba yen court no mu ni asem. Does it invoke any trauma on you? Na some crisis 7 for that.
Charles McCarthy, managing editor at the Hawk newspaper and ye turning kara home ka hit patch. Some men can show say okun migraine, okun menstrual cramps, okun arthritis, okun muscle pain. And then the kika ho nyina me pacho used to ahumka heat patch na sa heat patch enye bibia edini bia sa okoto ewo chrome ana shop pharmacy bibia be so onye bibia no mechecho na momoto a na wo de atare bibia pain no ewo no enti si ade se ye use hot water bottle na ye di kum ye muscle pains na yenom tablet ni nyina no yenya ni nyina na ahomka hit patch ewo ho no mabetumi aboa wo yie pa woto na se wo waya obohu se krata edi kan fita ene tare ani uyia obohu se another one ewo ho no uyia no anse wohu se brownish color bi ewo ho eno ne aduro no eno ene aduro no yusu eno na tare na me sure bo se any minute obohu se na hone hyehyɛ na pain no aduro no ewurewuremu na bibia ekoyie almost no pain in 2025 and beyond ahonka heat patch na meka ho asemakyere ope bi atopadia ko Accra Origin Chemist Art Pharmacy DM Sphere Sap Health okokumase so Dani Pharma Alpha Dio Panacea Pharmacy Kofredia Gapson Pharmacy Eastern Chemist and afeso Tamale Malarigo Pharmacy Takrade Ebuakwa Pharmacy and afeso Knock Chemist se mo amopesa mo ye regional distributors no mon fret number we na mon GB na mon cotton ye topa 0599 802297 0599 802297 and also say 0248509003 and also 0536 645 334 ahomka hit patch and I make ho asem achire wi men kan sure say Eclipse Collateral Management say we japade da ho na eda da kam na paper no nkrata no mfanya adwuma na eda ho no na say wo bo ho ban de o se fabra na yemfanya collateral adwuma umenya kakra e wo so a obetumi apodwe obetumi ede abo lifetime I show say eye o krata na ode ba no enye se ode ba no se bi ye de koye de ye no na je se ho atochima dabida enya de ebesi Eclipse Collateral Management say men can sure say be rest assured na collateral there omudi hu dwuma yie pa they are experts when it comes to that and you know men can sure say bra na ye ni nkomo enfa collateral ho ene credit brokerage ne bibia so land document kra no fabra na yemfa nya adwuma na bibia entumi enko yi omowo eye adenta omo ben Medimosis Hospital omo ben eye West African SHS and honoma na eye Eclipse Collateral Management omo ewo 054-383-2466 054-383-2466 from on na onyomo enkodi nkomo eno eye Eclipse Collateral Management na onyomo edi enkomo kwaku esiedu herbal prayer center semen kan show say omo GDA and afesu nkodimdie mixture na GDA eye herbal mixture no boaw ema yarea ewo ho enkono malaria fever headache typhoid and afesu joint pains nyina no GDA herbal mixture etumi eboaw ema etumi esan yare ema bibia etumi ekoyie ma na nkodimdie herbal mixture no so no eboaw yie pa ma eye menstrual cramps ma no menstrual irregularities ulcer stomach pain ni nyina no nkonumdie herbal mixture no eboa ema no etumi eyera kra ope GDA and afesu nkonumdie herbal mixture ni bi atwa yenko Widam Pharmacy Ashaman Ekus Pharmacy Ashaman Repass Ventures Okanshi and afesu Hallow Herbal Okanshi Angel Herbal Okanshi Kings Walk Herbal Okanshi na afesu Madina eye Suhum eye Tony K Herbal Kaswa House of Drugs JB Pharmacy and afesu Pharmacy bia and as a herbal shop bia ewo eye omemu hebia onsa ebe can be from e was 0558639865 0558639865 onsa ebe kamo eye kwaku esiedu herbal prayer center and I make sase mu achro no asana lawyer beba no James Mansu Tonto Chrome I say Kojo please read my messages I'm reading it Ghanaians must wait for 1 year. We will see salvation from God Almighty and JDM. NDC is a good party. Morning to Mr. Kabori. Okay, or Josu Yepa Jones. But that's it. Laya, young Quay, 10 minutes. Yes, sir.
It's unfortunate. I am your the memory bayana pay but it must be done. Mozin Kamaminka there. Her Ladyship Justice Arabatokonu Ofi baby me fanade or ye fee, ma'am. Because when she was appointed, yen my wo win be na ye bossy. In the Futu municipal, your bossy. Because where she's believed to come from no, is within the constituency. So we're proud of her as a woman who has risen to that level. And despite everything, I will still be proud of her. But you see, because we are trained to say things as it is, without any contradiction. It rather brings the name of the judiciary into disrepute. Because it shows that, one, she does not have faith in the processes of law. Kojo, what it means is that Sisia se was a court, the Maria brother. Whilst the court proceedings are going on, Motu ma media fu. Na my press conference there. Brozina wa accuse him de make kwa no. Come na communism. If ye be in you na nka mo pempo de nka moto, but no bia yi ho a moto efi no wo. Nti na me for brozin. So that I will appeal to public sentiment without leaving the substantial issues. And I'm doing street analysis because that's the street analysis she did. Because I did not see her cite any law. I did not see her cite any contradiction to any breach of law. Unfortunately, maintain any full, but a train I'm honor me tell some of them because making a better press conference me shim. Because number one, who advised her for the press conference? It could be a tactic because you want to appeal to public sentiment. That it can be construed there. Something untoward had been done to me. But who were her lawyers? You see, every case, Biano, if you are somebody, you will be careful who you choose as your lawyer. You can have a family lawyer or you can have a business lawyer who is there with you all the time. But depending on the case, you can assemble other lawyers to deal with that particular case. As I say, so I might have an issue. I'm your lawyer. But in this case, I can for Makati. Because at that time, for whatever vision that we have, he could do us the best honors. With this case, if you go and pick a lawyer like Godfred Odame, if people who go to court are all MPP known members, what do you think will be said at the end of the day? So her choice of those who will be her counsel was problematic. So in the first place, Nankasa was set a precedent. Me feel that it did not augur well for her. Now let's come to the press conference itself. What she did is contempt of court. There is a procedure going on. And she sought to run commentary on an in-camera hearing. So I don't, there is already 3 Supreme Court decisions as to Article 146 should be held in camera. Kessben 92.9. 3. And the leadership is aware. So in this case, when you say that in camera hearing a warrior why in katakata sumu mwaso, it looks as oya wunti na warrior and the man. That in itself is not factual. And it's problematic. Omama yanuma yetechi na nke bia yebeka bibi no, we are restrained and constrained because yakasa based on law, yakasa based on authority. Which authority are we using to justify what she is saying or what she's claiming? Because why? On the Nubin see that we should change what the law prescribes. And she has also set another bad precedent. There, on the bench, you cannot have a dissenting view. Because what she has done, she herself will empanel Justice Palman on several cases. So based on what did she empanel Justice Palman?
Kessben 92.9.
If Adrina or Fanunya, based on what? Because it means you don't respect the man's view. You don't believe that the man is deep enough. And you are calling the authority of your colleague. In fact, well, the Chief Justice is primus inter pares when it comes to the bench because she's first among the equals. They are all equals. But because she's the head of the bench. But does that mean it there? Sabi, if you don't think that the man is deep enough, the cases that you empaneled him on, nepedo then. So okay, that is why Obia and Pede Obey Chief Justice Benyasam. So that was why it was resulting in the unanimous FC that we used to say.
Kessben 92.9.
You see, here the mama, we wear two different hats because we are politicians as well. It may ammunitions to come back against you. Because Mawaye, it means you are destroying another judge. You've just destroyed a man. You've cited cases that people probably don't even know, and then you are using that, and you are inciting the public against the man. Thirdly, about Edulogeno, we all know over 40 years ago, this case, Onyendo, the killing that happened was with the PNDC. So it shows there you have some bitterness to the PNDC. Okay? And who are those who are aligned to the PNDC? It's the NDC. Which means, Awakasa, you have some bitterness into the issue you are citing Justice Palman for. You sat on election petition, which involved the NDC. You did not recuse yourself. Justices are trained. I mean, justice at the low court, whichever court they find themselves, they are trained there. One man, one past on affect war judgment. So rise above prejudice. And in a case where you think there, you can't rise above and you recuse yourself. In this case, you've said there, Asama OC over 40 years ago, it causes you nightmare. And you still have that pain in you, which means it clouds your judgment. So it presupposes that any case that had come before the Supreme Court that involved anybody from the NDC, your judgment was clouded.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So Kojo, I mean, these are the issues that me feel there. Yeah, mommy, one share and all those things, and even beyond the NDC, eh?
Yeah, quick one.
There might a few. Who was then killed for the assassination of Benja Akwa? Which means that anybody who bears the name Amatefio, you might have a problem with it. So let's go back to the judgment Hawaii. And let's see if there was anybody with those names or Aqua, the name Aqua.
Okay.
Maybe you might have some inclinations towards the name.
Okay.
So the things that she cited, and I'm like, okay, so did somebody read over her press statement?
All right.
And in the docket, last one, docket has some more come. In the court, na court in the docket, so if you are doing income, right, it means you are in the docket versus the bench. And why are you asking for and even if you want to do that, or you're public in a public na catch okay. Is the public going to do anything? Is it going to change anything? You see, at the end of the day, no matter the noise you make, no matter all the antics you do, the law is the law. Okay. She will go back to the committee again. Okay. Is that also?
Sure. But I say a citizen ato dazi general secretary ma a GCPP or sanso a lawyer. Me bana ya jibe 2-3 minutes on the MPP matters and then we call it a day. So CJ Tokonu or say hello KPD. CJ Tokonu raised these same claims through her lawyer Godfrey Dame and lost unanimously at the Supreme Court. If still aggrieved, she knows the court has review powers. Why isn't she using them? Many lost cases before her. Should they now hold presses and alleged conspiracies? Would she survive if that door is opened? Her camp leaked the petition and then used MPP proxies like Vincent Eko Asifua to demand dismissal under Article 146 Clause 8. They failed. She later claimed that the in-camera rule was a personal right she could waive. That also failed. Now she's baiting the committee to breach the in-camera rule so that confidential details spill into public discourse. The committee must ignore. A PRO is unnecessary. A pro or a PRO is unnecessary. What role does one play in an in-camera process? Instead of that, committee should consider contempt for breaching her judicial oath of secrecy and Article 146 Clause 8. Jojo Sly. But I see you pass it what they buy. 2-3 minutes. I'm starting with you, Maakye, on the MPP matters arising. Make sure what it be.
2-3 minutes.
It's all, but
because this is a public institution now, we are capable of coming to rule this country. And Damasi party will now be sub party Dama with the 2 minutes. They made it yes.
What am I saying? 1 minute, 2 minutes, Bina.
My dear President Kufuor Huyao, because as one person who have benefited immensely from the New Patriotic Party, now opportunity about say more team ideological institute, we have used that platform to tell the party say almost stick it to the constitution of the party. What I say, there is no need trying to do what they are doing because decision are neck the buy say omonko delegates conference in July, no. It is in breach of Article 10, Clause 2 of the MPP Constitution. The NEC didn't have power to amend or the authority to amend constitutions. Provisions are just stating it clearly under Article 9(1). The decision requires a amendment. Our conference, no, it is in breach of Article 19. Do you get it?
Yeah.
One kawin na and our tribal politics and what have you. Meanwhile, President Donald J. Kufuor, you elected or selected Aliu Mahama as your running mate. On what basis? What informed that decision? Say, who could choose Aliu Mahama as running mate? Say, tribal politics are unnecessary. What was the reason why Akufo-Addo or Kofa your friend Baumia as running mate if tribal politics in this country is unnecessary? Say encounter a DNT and a Baumia a Kofa Napo, even though he knew Napo was a sand in his or going to be sand in his political gary. And you can't hypocrisy. We will continue to do tribal politics in this country. The NDC claim because they presented SATSAP, Rollins, and then Professor Atamos.
Okay.
From this way, Enomudi win the election. The NPP has never done anything like that. What I say, and it is in breach of the party's constitution.
Right.
Mr. Party Nibabia were committed to the NPP to go to court and injunct the July process.
Okay.
Mama articles on the constitution, article 10 clause 2. With article 19, they shall circulate proposed amendment to constituencies and regions.
Okay.
For clear with Omonia.
Okay.
And what are you fixing?
All right.
What fixing election? They will need election committee. Oh, more than my way.
Let me tell quick one after your time and so.
Oh, me, I won't say much about it. What the Maakye one there, I said it last year before the elections. They have pressed a self-destruction button. MPP will press a self-destruction button. And if they don't take care, that is what is going to destroy them. It looks like that self-destruction button are what pressing. Who could do or press. They are not thinking otherwise. They are still pressing that. So I want to appeal to their conscience that everybody wants to see them as a formidable party. But if they refuse to do so, like I did last week and I'll still do again, I'm appealing to our sister minority political parties. This is the opportunity for us to present ourselves as a formidable alternative. Now, that year we did.
But I say, come on, I mean, to quick one after your time so.
But that's what we bring. Abra home notice a Kufado Suno Kanokre. Now, I can say it will only take a new leader to solve the challenges we face at the time. Sri Lanka, this a Ghana for who to my new leader, John Dramani Mahama. And then home Matthias Yomompeniku Fosso. Was it they must vote for a problem solver? I'm saying na Ora Kennedy Japan, nor a board chairman or a member of parliament, they couldn't solve the problem of this country. Ora Mamudu Bami over $5 4 CD because 17, over petrol 14 Ghana per gallon to almost 100, over inflation from 15 to 54. He's not a problem solver. Ofa will be to say Brian Champon, a Greek on the Beguno, he is not a problem solver. Offer will be to say Napo energy craft video my timetable could will try and pour. He is not a problem solver. And that is a message for the future. Whoever the NDC presents will be the problem solver. And Oman Penikufu has spoken.
All right. But I say happy birthday to you, Queen Debbie. Queen Debbie, happy birthday. Also may God bless you. Wave Amos off. Amos technical head. Also Queen Debbie, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Amos friend of Queen Debbie, happy birthday to you. And I feel happy birthday to you, Apostle Jeremiah. Apostle Jeremiah Yao Insian. Happy birthday to you, Wefi Samuel Ajimine. We are your sound engineer, Mepacho Apostle. Happy birthday to you. And then happy birthday to you, Angelina Ejewa Kodie. Wefi Derek Befi Honomana Face who made Angelina Ejewa Kodie. Happy birthday to you. Assemblyman, Petrensa, Ora Derek Befi. Or say happy birthday to you, Angelina Ejewa Kodie. And I say happy birthday to you, Perlo Fori. We are police officer. Richard, they didn't hear day. Police station, they didn't hear day. Meet. Wait, if you gift yourself, a lawyer, I'm a border head, you know, the head, you know, police station. Lawyer, it even now, no. It didn't hear day. Me to be more. Where are they?
Ghana.
I was also Ghana. Mini police station go.
Where today done.
Happy birthday to you, and happy birthday to you, Matilda Thompson. With your hine honor, Matilda, happy birthday to you. Wait, if you on hine honor more. And this is where I end the show. to say have a good weekend ahead of you. Don't do what I won't do. Have a blessed day this today. And I'm leaving you in the good hands of Joe Laka. From now to 2 p.m. on the we'll call a midfield action with all the sports and issues. Nina, Medaya Richard appear at the Sapon, Medana say, and I feel so a Danny Emos, and I feel so Fifi, Medamunina say, your best say Monday. Here the Jume friend of Kessben matching abroad. Media the Kojo Preko Dankwah. Good morning.